Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here, and this is Horror Jive. I know, it's been so long since we've done a horror movie review. We originally were going to do this review as a short. We're going to start, because we watch a ton of horror movies. It's like, we're going to do horror movie reviews, but we're going to do them in like a minute or less, and it's going to be like just on YouTube Shorts and on our TikTok and on our Instagram. And it's going to be super easy. So we decided to watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's from 2022. Before I get into the movie, because we're going to get into this full spoilers immediately, just accept that. All right. Naming your remake, reboot, or subsequent sequels, the same thing as the first movie, is the stupidest, shittiest move any series of humans can possibly do. You're monsters.
Yeah.
What I would recommend
a subtitle
is Chainsaw Massacre yourself.
Yeah.
Be Chainsaw Massacre by Leatherface.
Yeah.
Because honestly, Leatherface was the only good part of this movie.
And even then, Leatherface wasn't that great.
Yeah, he was alright.
Really, the reason we ended up not doing this as a short is because
we have too many opinions.
We have too many
opinions about this incredibly terrible movie. This is a garbage.
This movie is so bad.
Garbage movie. So
bad.
Let me quickly go over the plot of this movie for you. Okay, so basically, we are in like an abandoned, vaguely Midwest-esque town that's like abandoned and dust bowl-y and shit. All of the town is surrounded by fields of dead poppies.
Sunflowers.
Yeah, dead sunflowers. Thank you, sorry. Of dead sunflowers, which is like a really cool set piece. That's it. It was just for visuals. And honestly, only like 2. Like, it was dope looking, like the 1 or 2 times you got to see it, and every other time, waste of time.
Very ominous.
Yeah, it was very ominous. And like the setting was cool, right? The set and setting were dope. The layout of this town was super dope. It looked crazy familiar.
Oh.
It looked crazy familiar. It looked like they took a town setting from like a facade town from another movie and just like
used it in a
mussed
movie
it up
recently, and I cannot remember which movie.
Legit, part of me is like, is it the set from like the downtown area set from WandaVision?
No.
Because it was like kind of vaguely similar, but like shot from a different angle, you know?
But we have seen the downtown set from WandaVision and another thing we watched recently.
Yeah, so like the set and setting were dope, right? And then, all right, so we're in like a not Tesla. It was clearly like a car sponsorship. Yeah. But who cares who it was? Fucking whatever. It was like some sort of electric car that was like self-driving or whatever. And there was like a boyfriend and his girlfriend, and then like their friend and a younger sister. So there was like an older sister and a younger sister. All right. Yeah. And I'm gonna start using these terms because I don't know any of their names and I don't care. They're barely characters. There's the black guy, his girlfriend, the older sister and the younger sister. And honestly, until somebody said the word sister, I was just like, are they the same age? At one point in time, she's like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back to dad, blah. And I was just like, is that her fucking daughter? Like, that doesn't make any sense. This girl looks like she's like maybe 5 years younger.
Yeah.
So, no, they're sisters. It becomes clearer later, but whatever. So they're like young hipster millennials, and they go to this abandoned town with a ton of money to buy up the town to turn it into like a destination restaurant retreat for like young hipster millennials. But there's also this vague, they're buying it to like build this utopia where there's like no hate and everybody's peace and love and everybody's like coming together. It's like vaguely commune-y.
Like a commune of restaurateurs.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like it's like a wealthy YouTuber restaurateur commune thing. But also they only like vaguely touch on that, and that would have been dope to explore. They don't do that. So on the way into town, these guys get pulled over by the police, and they think because like this is a black guy and the police are like country folk, it's gonna be like the sting and the angles of the shots and everything is like these cops are gonna be racist. They weren't. The cops were fine.
It was so refreshing that the cops were like
it was like the obvious misdirect,
bad.
but like it was nice that the cops weren't bad. So whatever, they get into town and they're just like, look at how beautiful this town is. Look at these bones. And like the young sister's just like, everything's wrong. And then like whatever, there's only one dude in town and he's like the grizzled Texan with a machine gun guy. But he's also literally the most cool character in the show.
The best character.
And he's legitimately, and he's just like, what are you guys doing here? What's going on? No. So they're just like, whatever. right? Like, don't talk to him because he's, because he's vaguely Republican or something. I don't know. There's like a weird political vibe to this whole movie that makes no sense and doesn't need to exist at all. So then they go into the house that's supposed to be theirs, that's downtown, and like there's an old lady in it who is played by the Borg Queen from Star Trek Voyager, or the Borg Queen from First Contact. One of the two Borg Queens.
She's also the crazy old lady from Mandy.
No, that's the other old lady. This is Leatherface's mom, who dies early.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
Mandy old lady,
I forgot
different
there
old lady.
was two crazy old ladies in this
So
movie.
this old lady's just like, this
so
is
bad.
my house.
I started to black it out.
So basically, these guys go in there, and she's like, "This is my house," and they're like, "No, it's ours. The bank sold it to us." And she's like, "No, the bank sent me some stuff, and I took care of it. So like, it's my house now." And basically all these kids are just like, "Ah!" And they literally berate this lady into having a heart attack. So the ambulance and the police come to take her out, and she goes away. And they're like two of the four people are like, "This is wrong. We shouldn't do this." So the girlfriend goes with the old lady and her like huge, crazy, definitely gonna be Leatherface kid in the back of a police car, like a police van, right?
To get her to the
hospital. She dies. He freaks out.
Crashes the van.
He only cool kill. Like, literally the only cool kill. Breaks the cop's wrist and, like, jams him in the neck to bleed him out.
With his own
hand.
Severed wrist bone.
Yeah, and then the cop's like, ah! And I don't know, somehow a gun goes off and it kills the other cop, and they crash into, like, a thing. And the girl's just like, I don't know what to do. And at first she's doing the smart things, and then she does the bad things, and basically she also gets murdered. So, like, the cop gets his head bashed in, and then she gets, like, yanked out and, I don't know, cut up or her head bashed in or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Who cares? And whatever, he carves the face off and puts it on his face. He becomes Leatherface. Boom.
Oh, he did the thing.
So then, like, back in town, the bus full of other wealthy millennials who want to do this and are the auction show up.
Party bus?
It's like a party bus, but it's like an old-timey bus. You know what? Reflecting on this movie, because we watched it a couple of days ago, this movie was like 5 set-piece ideas and then a bunch of stupid filler to fill it in. So there's an auction, some stuff happens, like, basically, one of the girls is one of the girls and the guys goes back into the house to, like, scope it out, and Leatherface shows up, and he, like, murders the black guy, and the black guy, like, dies, but, like
not dies.
Like he like dies and then doesn't die and then he actually dies, but like the like racist Texan, come to find out, is a racist, and it's just like, no, don't die on me, and it's like super passionate about it. So now it's just big sis, little sis, and like the party bus of millennials. And the party bus of millennials are wholly the stupidest humans on earth. So like whatever, Leatherface chases them around. The old crazy lady from Mandy shows up because she has beef. Because she's supposed to be a character from one of the 70s Leatherface things.
She's not. We looked.
I don't know.
She's supposed to be the character, but she wasn't in any
like,
of
she
those
she wasn't like actually that character, but she was like supposed to be that character. I don't know. It's weird. It's super weird because it's just like, wait a minute, how old is this fuck kid, dude?
Yeah.
Like, was this kid like Leatherface and 3 years old?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know?
Because he's very clearly not as old as the lady.
No, of course not. Yeah, whatever. So there's like a bunch of back and forth. There's some like lame murders. It basically gets down to like the final chase scene is the second, like, is like the last third of the movie, right? Where it's like the two gals, are they going to be able to make it? What's going to happen, right? And at one point in time, they literally get keys. Or like they literally like escape Leatherface onto the party bus. And what they do is they just run to the back of the party bus. And nobody knows how to work the emergency exit of said party bus.
So they just stop trying to get out.
So everybody just stops trying to get out. And then, like, all the party bus kids are just like, you're gonna get so canceled if you do anything with that chainsaw dude. But, you know, because, like, that's how millennials talk when a dude wearing a human skin mask with a chainsaw is.
Like, I don't want to say boomer, but that's like how older people trying to write millennials write millennials.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. I mean, this movie's just like ageist and dumb.
Really irritating.
Yeah, it's super dumb. So these kids are like super dumb. They all get murdered in like what should have been a very dope blood scene. And was like not dope at all.
Was not.
The gals, the sisters go into the bathroom and they're able to exit out of like an emergency house.
With that is he's got like the chainsaw and he chainsaws a dude through the stomach, but like he's behind the dude, so the chainsaw's coming out the front. And then he pushes that guy into a girl who's standing against a wall and it's like he's hugging her, but the way the chainsaw is like pulsating, it makes it look like he's humping her, but that doesn't
funny.
actually make any
sense. It's mostly just funny because it's not actually good, but it's funny, so that helps. But yeah, so like whatever, they're able to escape, and like the old lady who has beef with this immortal Leatherhead gets picked up with a chainsaw. Like he chainsaws her in the chest, rock and roll, like picks her up in the air, and then fucking yeets this chick like
20 feet that
across the street into
an
a pile of garbage in the alleyway. Right, she's dead now. What's gonna happen? They're all running around. The young sister, like went through some like school shooting trauma or whatever that they like very ham-fistedly jam in as an excuse.
Oh my god.
But like I don't know.
Like
they
her
like
singular character trait.
Yeah, it's like very reductive and honestly, like in my opinion, super disrespectful. Like I feel like if I was in a family where somebody had went through that trauma, I would have been like, dude, fuck you guys. This is not cool.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very ham-fisted and inappropriate in my opinion. But so like she's supposed to use a gun and then she can't. She's supposed to use a gun and she can't. You know, but it's never she can't because of like it's like. I think they're trying to play it off as like she can't because it's fear, but every time it's like she can't and she's scared, but then also like there's no clip in the gun. Or like, but then also it's not cocked. So it's like, that's not fear. She just doesn't know what a gun is. You know?
And
like
how to use one.
Like they're just doing weird stuff. And I would argue that I think the actors probably did the best they could with what was written for them.
Yeah.
Right? Because it really just seems like this movie was sort of rushed out because like remaking horror franchises is hot right now. Because it feels rushed. It feels definitely like it needs a second pass with the writing team.
Jesus.
And like a director or something about somebody who has like a connection. Other than the fact that this dude has a chainsaw and he wears a face and like Leatherface TM. There's no connection to the franchise.
Yeah.
And it's like this weird reboot, but that still references older shit. It was dumb. Whatever. So, like, they escape in the robot car, and, like, the young sister's in the driver's seat, and it's just like, robot car, take me home. Or what, because it's, like, one of them self-driving cars. And the self-driving car's like, yes. And starts to take her away. And then, like, the sister just gets yanked out the window.
Yeah.
The sister just gets yanked out the window. Like, they thought they killed Leatherface. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Before they escape, she needs the shotgun. And she's trying to shoot the gun and Leatherface is like chainsawing her and then gets shot and the camera pans over. And the old lady 45 minutes ago who was thrown 20 feet with a chainsaw through her stomach, yeah, she's fine. So she shoots a 12 gauge shotgun like 4 times into this dude. And like that works for a little bit. And then she like has like a whole monologue that's way longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And then like they, you know, whatever, they finally like push him into some water after like a bunch of like will they, won't they, team building, sister act stuff. And so, like, they make it, and they're gonna escape, and then the older sister gets, like, yanked out of the car at the last second
and
sting.
then, like, gets her head
and gets, like, her head cut off with a chainsaw.
And then the younger sister
she's like, on the roof of the car, like, no! No! Because the car's driving away, and she can't stop it, I guess. And that's the end of the movie.
Everyone is dead. Literally everyone in this town
I would argue that of the, like, young people who are all garbage characters, the young sister is probably the best of them.
Honestly,
the Texan is the best character.
Okay,
far and away. The like Texan, and we're just calling him that because I don't remember any of their stupid names.
The characters for everybody are atrocious. They are, if you're lucky, one note characters.
Oh my god, yeah.
The only characters who get more than one note are actually the locals to this town. Yeah. The cops get 2 notes because they're cops and they're good cops, but you thought they were bad.
And they're
cops,
trying
right?
or whatever. Yeah.
And then there's the hillbilly guy, and he's a hillbilly guy who maybe you need to be scared of, but like he just wants to.
Oh yeah, they call him a hillbilly, and they're like, this is the thing,
they're
dude.
Like mean.
They're like legit mean to this guy, and like I understand that they came into this like lady's house all super hot because there was like old busted up Confederate flag hanging on it.
Being aggressive.
And everybody was being like people were being rude or whatever. But it's all so misdirecty that it's like, is it actually...
I didn't mind the misdirects, but the characters are awful. They're all... Almost every single character is infinitely unlikable.
Yeah.
The most likable characters are the cops that get killed.
Yeah.
And the hillbilly guy.
Yeah,
and then
Texan.
of the like 4 main people that you start off with, the girlfriend who dies in the van is probably the nicest. She's like, I'm gonna go with this old lady who tried to kick out, and I'm gonna go with her to the hospital. You know, and that was it. The older sister was so unlikable. I was rooting for her to be killed from basically the first lines that she had.
Dude,
it's like
worst.
It's like they wrote this. It's like they wrote this thinking that woke millennials would like this movie, but without actually knowing what woke is or what millennials are or what they would like, because it's that whole like millennials are kids and they just want to cancel culture stuff and they're super weak and all they want to do is party and take selfies.
I think it's that set piece thing.
It's all garbage.
Yeah, they're like, we've got some set pieces. We want chainsaw in a party bus. We want old rickety house. We want like police van in a field full of
Even the
sunflowers.
Set pieces weren't great.
What I'm saying is, I think the way that this movie came about was that they chose like 5 set pieces, and they're like, all right, we want these 5 set pieces, and they're like, all right, cool. Who gets murdered? Young people. All right, what are young people into? I don't know, movements and cell phones and like wokeness. Make one of them have a sad story. What are young people sad about? Like, it's so reductive. It's honestly disrespectful, both to the franchise, and I'm not even a huge Texas Chainsaw
Same,
Massacre
I'm not
fan.
like a big
like, it's
Texas
okay.
Chainsaw fan.
It's not bad. It's certainly better than this literal piece of human garbage that we had to watch.
Yeah.
Right? Like, legit, halfway into this, we were like, do we want to fucking continue watching this?
Yeah.
Because it's that
bad,
dude.
Even the kills weren't super great.
No.
In particular, one of the worst sets of kills in this was there's a point where like the main dude is like goes into the house where like the old lady and like Leather and like future Leatherface are living in, and he's been like Leatherfaced out, and there's like this door, you see this perspective of like a closet or something, and there's a door and the door swings in and out, and then you see like the door swings and you see Leatherface and the guy, and Leatherface is gonna like obviously murder this guy, and they're doing this thing where like the door is swinging, you get to see the murder, but they didn't even do that in a nice looking way.
Yeah, they instead of doing the like swing, he's there, swing, they're both there, swing, the murder happens, swing, he's a corpse on the ground, which would be like the regular beat for that sort of, which would have been a very dope,
it would
like
have been
visual
so
thing.
Cool.
They just like didn't do it again, like. And, you know, like, I don't know, maybe they're super into it, maybe they're new to the game, whatever, but it honestly feels like the person all of the people involved in this are not horror fans. They're definitely not Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans. They're definitely not slasher fans. Like, it was just not good.
Or maybe the actors were, but the director wasn't. It's hard
to tell. Like, and
where
you know what? Maybe
maybe
everybody tried, and like the studio just stepped in, you know, like they do to like, you know, like fuck shit up or whatever. But like, it was genuinely unenjoyable film.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was bad.
It was not as bad.
It was bad, and I like a lot of bad horror.
I didn't hate it as much as the house that Jack built, which we have a video on that on the channel.
I definitely
if you're
hated
interested.
it more than the house that Jack built.
I absolutely hated this movie.
Yeah.
It was awful. I would like my time back, please, Netflix. Okay, thank you.
So, I guess TLDR, literally do not watch this movie. Do not, we gave it a thumbs down. We are making this longer form review because I wanted to talk about all the garbage, right? Yeah. Like, it was bad. It was unenjoyable.
It was bad
uninspired.
On almost every
it wasn't
level.
Interesting. And the greater YouTube horror, like, people, right? Like, the greater YouTube horror community. I want to know what their opinions are on this. Because, like, maybe we're totally off base and everybody's super into this. But wow, did we not enjoy this at all. Like, no part. At the beginning, I was just like, oh, this might be really dope. It's kind of like a different little bit of a vibe going on here. And then like immediately the teens that are going to be the 20-something millionaires who are going to be murdered are just like the worst people on earth. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And we came into this, like, we watched this right after the season finale of Discovery of Witches, which we super duper loved.
Yeah.
But whenever we go from something like that, we always switch genres entirely. So, like, we were coming off of a bit of show hangover, but this just, like, enraged us.
Well, and, like, horror is always, like, our favorite. We forgive horror of a great many things that maybe shouldn't be forgiven for.
One of my favorite horror movies is Jennifer's Body. Fight me.
Yeah. And that's not a great movie. I mean, it's a fun movie. I do like that movie. But it's not a great movie. It's kind of weird, but it's
great.
Fun.
It's fantastic. It's the best.
But yeah,
Through the trees.
So if you have seen it, what do you think? What have you heard? Leave a comment below and all that kind of stuff. Obviously we give it negative 1 million out of 10, right? So yeah, negative 1 million out of 10. Put it on the screen. But yeah, so either way, I have been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. This has been Horror Jive. We're back at it again. And
Backstreet's back, all right.
Backstreet is back. And yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that kind of stuff. And do yourself a favor. Go watch a good slasher movie.
Watch something else.
Yeah, because this is not it.
Watch a different Texas Chainsaw movie. Yeah. Not this one.
Literally any of them.
I recommend the one with Matthew McConaughey. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious.
Oh, man.
And
Texas Chainsaw franchise is so weird. How this movie is so bad is shocking and sad.
It's not like there was a whole lot that they had to do to make it good.
No, it's a very formulaic system, guys. What are you doing?
They didn't even make the horror movie formula make sense.
Yeah. Oh man, it was just bad in every possible direction. So,
anyway, we're gonna stop before
we're
we keep going.
gonna stop yelling at how angry we are at this because we're angry and we watched this movie 3 days ago, and we are still this angry. I am so glad we didn't shoot this video the night that we finished watching it. This would be 45 minutes of me just being like, "Wah!" And we don't need that.
Although maybe that's what you want.
Although maybe that's what you want. Tell me below. But yeah, either way, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. I don't know. Stay murdery. I don't have an outro for this.
Stay frosty. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't murder.
Thrills, not kills.
Thrills, not kills.
Is that a thing?
Kills over thrills? I don't know. Are we breaking copyright or something?
I don't know.
We'll figure
Whatever.
it out.
Something.
Let's fly.